And good evening, folks. It is SonarFeed tonight, episode 192. We are the blue.
That's a lot.
192?
Yeah.
It seems like a lot.
We are the green.
We are the green. We are the blue. We are here again after Nevin been gone for Halloween. So I wore my...
It's been weeks.
I wore my Bite Me shirt, my Mickey Mouse Bite Me shirt. Vampire shirt.
No one's scared of you.
I know.
I wore my darkness and demigorgons.
I know. I like that. That's good. That's good. So
I don't know what any of that means.
It's a shirt that has this Mickey Mouse on it.
Are you on camera again?
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
a
he's on
death
camera
mouse.
again. I know.
See, and this
We
is a
sort of-
Stranger Things D&D reference.
Between
There, I've explained it as
now
much
I
as
am.
you need
There
to
you go.
know.
Okay, got it.
We are short one tonight. Hugo is at the Seahawks game, which is going on right now. For those of you that are watching one corner of your eye on the game,
What's
I
a
do
Seahawk?
believe the Seahawks are up currently.
I have
28-17.
I have Seahawks trivia for us later tonight.
Okay, good. John Ryan unfortunately had a punt blocked earlier.
That was the lineman's fault.
Correct, I agree. But he's still the punter, so it still got blocked. So we
Well,
don't
his
have
other
Hugo.
choice was to fall on the ball.
True. Yeah.
John Ryan currently has a challenger for coolest punter.
Oh my
in the
God.
NFL.
That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I think most of that is just because John Ryan got driven off of Twitter due to assholes. Like John
I don't
Ryan
think
quit
that has
social
anything
media.
to do with
He
his
would be
ability to
very
dance
popular.
like he's on a horse.
True.
But if John Ryan,
We're still on Twitter. He'd be
Dance
fascinating. People would
challenges.
love him.
the Raiders punter, to genuine pony dance-off.
Oh my God.
Pony?
Yeah.
That would be pretty
Is
awesome.
that sponsored by Brian Floyd of?
I mean, it could be. But anyway.
So, but we're back. We were gone last week for Halloween.
Hi.
Did everyone have a good Halloween? Did you have a good Halloween?
Sure. I successfully had zero trick.
I wondered if you had anybody in your building.
Zero.
I was surprised,
trick-or-treaters.
actually.
Zero for you too?
In a building, I would say I genuinely expect trick or treaters.
yeah.
Other buildings I've lived in Seattle downtown, I've had them before.
But that building's maybe
but
a little
zero.
more
It's a little older.
old-
I would
yeah.
say, well, by
Or
older, I
younger
mean
and older.
23.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 23 and bro.
Yeah.
And most of them were trick or treating
bro.
outside the building.
Has Mark moved in yet?
Not yet. But there's
Yet
still
being the
time.
operative word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
I did have my share of Reese's peanut butter cups,
Nice.
Hershey
Nice.
bars, Kit
Leftover.
Kats.
How many bags of candy did you buy before?
Just one.
Okay, that's good.
Just one.
That's good.
So between us, we only
It was
had
$38.
It might have been.
It was a really
one
big
bag
yeah.
though. So
I think we only had 35 pieces of candy. So
Oh, okay, that's not
worst
bad.
case scenarios, not that
No,
bad.
yeah.
So I tried to limit myself to
Yeah.
like
A single.
5 a day.
Yeah. Nice.
But they were snack size, so it was okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We this year was cool because my daughter stayed home and handed out candy and did homework.
what?
Yeah, because she wasn't ready for it and she had homework to do, so she did that. So we took my son out and we had that same like re-energized kid Halloween excitement with my son. He's like, "This is the best thing ever," and my legs are not even tired. And we'd gone like 4 houses, and I'm like, "Good, I'm glad your legs aren't tired yet." And we got halfway around the block, and he's like, "Now I'm getting tired, but I'm not ready to be done." So it was pretty awesome.
What Lego character did he dress up
So
as?
he actually went as a. This is kind of one of those like almost cringeworthy kind of things. Like as a dad, I'm kind of like. In the
Is this
current
gonna end
environment,
awkwardly, this
maybe,
story?
but not really. Hopefully not.
Okay.
Have
so
you met him?
He was a an Army Special Forces guy. He really wanted to be an Army Special Forces guy. So they got him like a full on they sold the costume with the muscles and the
Okay.
shirt and everything. It's in the
I
Special
had a lot
Forces.
of badges and pins that he could have
So
worn.
you went all in on this.
Oh, he did. He went all in, yeah. And then he had the face paint, to kind of get like the camouflage. But we didn't go too much because A, he has sensitive skin, and B, it was raining like crazy. So, but he had face paint on to be all the camouflage. And I've got a really bright orange, reddish, a Nerf gun, right? So it was so that it was like there was no chance in hell it would be seen as a gun, right? But we let him. We tied it onto his basically on his uniform, right? Then halfway through, he started going up to the doors, putting his bag down, and holding the gun up towards the door, the Nerf gun, thankfully.
And you're having to it.
And I'm like I had this momentary like, what should I do here? Because what if I get the crazy guy who's like coming to the I don't know what that was. That was weird. Coming to the door and going, why does this kid have a gun at the door? So yeah, it was a momentary like, what do you do kind of thing. Thankfully, the neighborhood we know most of the people, so it was comfortable, but it was kind of like it could have been very awkward. Yes. So that's it. That's all I have.
Sounds potentially very awkward.
Potentially very awkward. Yes. So that would be the last time he has a gun on Halloween for sure, because I don't want to have that go sideways. If anything.
Mark, how about you?
I watch TV.
How many trick or treaters did you have?
None. I live in a retirement home. It's actually true.
By the way,
Tom's seen my.
if I was 10,
neighbors.
I'd want to hit up the retirement home because
Seriously?
they're
Yeah.
like giving out
Everything
like full size.
Yeah.
The nice thing about this retirement home, a locked building.
Oh, nice.
If I ran the retirement home, I'd be like, "Hey, we're bringing kids by,
Yeah.
so you're going to be happy tonight."
Yep.
It's really condos. It just happens to be a bunch of old people live there.
Yeah.
I know.
So it fits perfectly
I've
for
been
you.
to your house.
Oh, that's right. You have.
Oh, is this the house where you can't have the fire pit anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good donation, by the way, of the fire pit.
The Dillons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much use.
I've now used Mark's fire pit
More than
at 2 locations.
So Beth with Jordan Morris for Halloween, she says here, which is pretty funny.
I am shocked.
I was too, but she actually looked pretty much like him. She posted a picture of her and the one. It was the one where he's wearing his hat backwards.
Oh,
And-
I was gonna make a
Yeah.
Jordan Morris joke, but no,
No.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
probably
my
good, yeah.
favorite thing from the Alliance Council meeting was supposedly Christian and Jordan met her. Oh, I mean, I know they met her.
Yeah.
But they called her Beth.
Called her Beth.
Or Bread.
Called her bread. Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Hey,
was
Bread.
only what, like 80% super creeped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she tags him every day.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. So we didn't. So we haven't been here for Halloween. I was sick the week before.
His weeks.
It's been we haven't had like the full
No,
roster.
so we had a knockout game.
Yep, the Kansas City game, the Dallas
Another
home.
game.
That seems like an eternity ago.
It
Yeah.
does, and then we had the Dallas game yesterday. So we have a lot to cover.
Were the Mariners still playing when we were here last?
Uh,
Kind of feels like they were. There was definitely baseball,
Yeah, well, the World Series was still
which,
going
by the
on,
way,
yeah.
we should talk about at some point.
We should, yeah.
But
the
anyway,
Cubs.
so
why don't we talk? Let's go back
three-
to Kansas City for a minute. Can we go back and let's just talk
Could we
about
do
that?
that?
Why not? You want to go back to Kansas City?
I don't want to go to a flyover state.
Well, I don't either. But let's talk about the game, not traveling there. But let's talk about.
Can we talk about Peter Vermees?
Yes, he's a nice guy. Question for you: who do you think is a better coach and more respectful to the opponents, Peter Vermees or Bruce Arena?
Hold on. Is this a real question?
Kind of.
Peter Vermees.
Okay. Good answer. That's all.
What?
No, I'm confused by that answer.
I am too, actually, a little bit.
Bruce Arena literally
Listen to
doesn't
the
even
postgame,
know
though.
that there are other teams.
Bruce Arena's
He's just like, the altitude, we lost.
I guarantee
Ashley
you,
Cole.
3 days after the game, Bruce Arena will like talk about the game in a legit fashion. It's just post game that he's
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Whereas Peter Vermees and the entire Sporting KC roster, they're
We're
probably still
super-
like, I can't
super
believe they
pissed
called
off.
Beasler offside, despite the fact that any competent person saw him offside.
Yeah, no, I think Vermees, though, some part of me, maybe I just appreciate his attitude. He's been in New Jersey for a minute in his life, and I have that,
New Jersey-ish.
thing.
Thing, okay.
Whereas I just find Arena to just be smug as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you literally did not
Yeah.
lose because of the altitude.
No.
Bruce Arena.
All right, two things there. One, Bruce Arena has the right to be smug as hell.
Yeah.
He is
Well, duh.
arguably one of the 3 greatest coaches
These
in
chips
American
are really
soccer
good, by the
history.
way.
Yeah, they make their own. You
Yeah,
get them
with
at the
sugary
Berliner Pub
kinda-
downtown Renton.
Yes.
Sponsor of SonarFeed.
221 Main Street.
And the other thing is, can we stop calling it altitude when people are playing at elevation? Because, my God, you're not flying in a blimp when you're playing soccer.
Just go with it.
That's
I'm
I never
just
even thought
using
about
it
that.
'cause
That's
It's
hilarious.
such a soccer thing.
They
Yeah.
use the altitude.
Yeah.
Hell, Colorado uses altitude. Everyone uses it, and you're like, or your
Because the Denver
elevation
Broncos
is
are
higher.
smart enough, and the Colorado Rockies are smart enough, and the Denver Nuggets are smart enough, and face it, every other team in Denver calls it elevation.
Welcome to MLS marketing.
Well, but I don't think I don't think the Rapids will say altitude. I think they'll just call it 5280. They just do the
It
foot
looks
marker.
good on their neck
It's a
tape.
pretty cool neck
Yeah.
tape. I mean,
Oh, is it? I never
yeah,
haven't
they
seen
do
it.
the neck tape.
It's also
the
the
mile
local
high,
magazine there.
Okay.
It's a pretty good usage.
That's cool.
but it's elevation.
Yeah.
Because
the
you're
way, if anyone-
standing on the earth.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
elevation.
you're not, like, I think you tweeted something about you're not on a blimp, so you're
If
not high
I see
above.
another person on the internet,
I rage.
call them the PIDs, like apostrophe PIDS.
No.
I kind of want to kill myself.
I've never
when I
seen
see
that.
Oh, no. I saw it 3 times today.
I'm a big fan of the Durs.
The Durs are amazing playing in Pioneer Square. Anyway, so the PIDs, look out for that on a MLS shirt near you. Take them all.
Oh, that was great.
By the way,
And the cat scarf.
Anyway,
FC Dallas in Instagram called that a mini towel, and on Twitter called it a mini scarf.
Yeah.
Good job, social team.
they don't actually know. They don't talk to each other.
Tiny fabric thing.
Security Team of the Year 2014. FC Dallas.
Yes.
Did they let you drum and flag?
We had drums. We actually had the large flags. We were not allowed to have an overhead display because, quote, you know that we have cameras on you all the time and we don't ever want to lose sight of people in the stands.
That was the excuse given?
Yes.
Well,
At least
this was
LA
also
was
the
serious.
first game when you guys were allowed to have flags and drums in like
A while.
3 years.
long time. Yeah, no, I know
LA
that.
at least was serious and the one person comes off mute that has never talked for like the last 40 minutes and
Yeah.
goes, we'd just like to give our team a home field advantage so you can't bring the BFFs.
Yeah.
We're like, good.
That's cool.
Like we can respect that.
Yeah.
The Casey Keller thing. Like, we're not
Okay,
sacrificing
we're
home
good with
field
that.
advantage.
Dallas is like, whoa, we need to see you on our video cameras the whole time, so no overheads.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay. So do we want to talk about Kansas City?
Let's talk about Kansas City.
Because
Yeah.
it was an interesting game, right? It was the heartbreak of because the almost goal for them was scored right in front of me.
bummer.
Yeah. Thank God. And that was like, yeah. And
That was the good call, and then
It was
there
a
was
good
the
call.
bad no call.
Yeah.
But I can explain it.
Okay. Explain it. You're talking about Nelson's goal.
We'll just eat chips.
Nelson
You can do
Nelson
that.
was offside,
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
but the AR was one shielded by other players,
Okay.
so you can't get a clear view.
Yep.
And two, he's running at full speed, whereas on Beasler's, it was a set piece.
Right.
A lot easier if you're not moving to
Yep.
judge who's onside and offside
Yep.
than if you're running at a full sprint on a rapid play like Jovan Jones created. Mm-hmm. So AR running at full sprint, screened off, can't really tell. In those cases, soccer leagues instruct their refs, if you can't really tell, it's onside.
Right.
Because over the years, they've decided people scoring goals is important. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we got it. And
Wait,
for all the
goals?
goal.
Okay.
People scoring goal.
Yeah.
People scoring goal is important. Doesn't work. So
that
goals.
doesn't work at all.
Goals. Yeah.
So it made sense. It was a justifiable call.
Right. But he was offside.
But he was offside.
Yeah.
But we don't have instant replay, and maybe someday we will.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Let's not, because the
Sporting would-
NFL has it right now, and it's an effing disaster.
the USL tried it in 6 games,
This year?
and the total added time was 38 seconds.
But I think the Red Bulls
Between
had
all 6 games.
98 goals scored against them based on those USL.
No,
Sorry,
no,
the Red Bulls too.
No, they won the league.
I'm being facetious.
But they used it there, and since most of it was in a goal scored situation, the game is actually paused anyway.
Right.
And if they can't review it in that amount of time, it's considered moot,
Yeah.
and they move on. So it's creeping in to the global game.
Mm-hmm.
USL will have it at every game next year, supposedly.
Every game will have replay,
Supposedly.
and we'll have replay
At the USL level.
Okay.
Red cards, penalties, and goal scoring opportunities.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Gotcha. Interesting.
So
Goal line technology involved
No,
in that?
no. It's all video replay.
All
It's
video
not,
replays.
not goal line. Goal line technology is
If you want to
hundreds
fund
of
that,
thousands of dollars
Per
stadium,
match.
and then
not
per match.
Per match is 100,000.
It's like a $600,000 install and
Jesus.
1.5 million per MLS season or something like that. Whereas
that's like 2 less beers per match.
all they need is
For you.
All they need for replay is a mobile screen that a dude making minimum wage can hold up for the referee to look at.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, they're not going
Let's
to pay
not
him.
judge people's income.
They're not going to
level.
pay him more than minimum wage to hold up
Okay,
a
that's fair.
TV screen twice a game. He just has to sit there with the screen, and when it gets requested by the first by the center ref or one of the assistants, because like the assistants can say, "Hey, I think you should look at a replay," and he'll be like, "Okay, cool." Unless it's Ricardo Salazar, then he'll pause to flex, and then he'll look at the replay.
He is pretty jacked still.
So going back to Sporting Kansas City, can we review the fact that they were on the road, and those 30 minutes of extra time and the possible penalty kicks would have had to be on the road? Mm-hmm. So they were likely to lose just later in the night.
Yep.
Whether if the call was right, they were probably still going to lose.
Yep.
Because that's what they are.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree.
So okay, I just wanted to review that.
Yeah. I mean, they were very
zero
salty, and they
issue
were
with
very
that.
same here. They were very salty for they still are probably. I haven't seen anything over the weekend, but they were really salty all last week.
It's a reversal
So-
from when last time,
Yeah.
when Salazar said, paint the walls.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is a...
Yeah, because that was the other thing. I thought
the script.
Yeah,
here.
It was weird because he actually performed. So he was the fourth,
Which we all know.
He was the fourth on the Kansas City game,
Right.
And I swear to God, he talked him out of giving Ozzy a yellow/red card. There, it felt like he was like, no, that was a legit whatever talk that because it seemed like he came out to make sure that it was clear. What was the Elifath or whatever his name is, the ref that night?
Smell FF.
Yeah, and then of course Salazar came out in the Dallas game, and I thought performed like ridiculously good.
Because
Like,
again, we actually, as Sounders fans, have a decent record with Salazar.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
actually
other
look
than
at
the
it.
2012,
There are some outlier moments.
Yes.
But overall, it's actually been pretty good.
Well, like
Yeah.
the first third of MLS Sounders existed, and it was a really poor record.
right?
And then there was that game, and then they refused to give us Salazar for 2 years because Siggy would have rioted.
And then he showed up, and everyone was like, Salazar!
And then they
it
were
was
like,
fine.
"Oh my God!"
Yeah.
And everything's been fine.
And you were like,
the
"Oh, we
past
won
3
3-1.
seasons.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
3-1.
It's an
At some
there's
point.
an interesting
Oh.
trajectory because like he and Siggy go way back, and at first there was like that issue, and then there was
They
the
might
open
actually be
gut.
hanging out right now.
I had a witty comeback.
Yeah,
but
I have nothing.
I failed that.
Yeah, I have nothing. Okay, so that was it on Kansas City. I did. I spent all morning that morning listening to Disney hype music because I was struggling to get hyped for that.
So when you say Disney hype music,
Uh huh.
what is that?
Let Go?
Is that like...
No, not everything, but let
Is
it
that
go.
like be our guest
Uh-huh.
at like 120 beats per minute?
No.
Is it the Gaston song
It's
with
lit-
a whole lot of expectorating?
Nope.
Like what is that?
It's literally Disney movies, songs from Disney movies.
Yeah, that's what we're asking
which
you to
part
clarify.
is hype about that?
So my daughter had her first middle school dance, and it was Under the Sea themed, and it happened to be that.
What's hype about that?
I saw
though?
some photos.
It's not.
I saw some
Yeah.
photos. Yeah.
It's not. I'm getting there. I was trying to get into hype mode. I was having a struggle getting into hype mode that I couldn't get it going. She told me that morning that was the theme, so I played Under the Sea in the
It
car
was good
for her.
to like sandbag you and wait till
Totally.
that morning.
Pretty much.
So teenager.
You know what gets
Yeah.
me hyped?
Yeah,
Prince Ali, Fabulous Heat,
Also
all Bob
me.
Watt.
it did.
Boom! I want to score a goal.
It got me hyped. So I literally listened to Under the Sea, and then I listened to all day long Disney music the whole day, the
So when
entire
you
day.
were listening to Under the Sea,
I was singing
do
along.
you visualize yourself as like the crab guy?
Sebastian.
Sebastian, yeah.
That's him. Yeah. Who do you see yourself as?
Personally, I think it should be Sammy the Sounder.
Sammy the Sounder. That'd be a good one. Yeah, I just really enjoy Disney music, and I enjoy Disney movies. So I wasn't visualizing myself in there. I was literally just listening to all the music, and I went through playlist after playlist after playlist, which I tweeted out that day, and listening to it. That's it. I'll
You
Make
know
a Man Out of You is a great song.
Far
Fantastic
from me
song.
to criticize somebody for hype, considering what I use for inspiration of hype, but more power to you.
Yeah, I mean,
If
I
it-
was
if
in the
it
car
gets
all
you
day,
going.
and the best part was nobody.
I mean, I
complained.
wrote about a fire pit.
Yeah,
You listen to like Mike and the Mechanics and get super hyped up.
Huh?
Mike and the Mechanics?
I'm not that old.
yeah,
You could be.
yeah,
I probably am.
yeah. So yeah, I listened to The Lion King. I listened to the full Nightmare Before Christmas album. I listened to
Fantastic.
everything. Yeah, it was a fantastic one.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, Danny Elfman. Yeah, and then the Marilyn Manson version of that is
Ooh, yeah.
fantastic.
By the way, Danny
that's
Elfman could score just about anything.
anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. But that's just it. That's what I'm saying. So I went back and I listened to whole full albums, and then Brandon from Portland tweeted to me about the Suburban Legends, which is a ska band which is hilarious because then it was so ska Disney movies, and they had DuckTales. They had ska version of DuckTales, which is phenomenal. By the way, I've listened to that one probably 20 times in the last week.
By the way, if you want to listen to interesting covers of classic songs, the Westworld has released
yeah.
their
Oh my God.
It's fantastic.
orchestral
It's on
covers.
Spotify, right?
Yes, they got it on
is it?
Spotify and on YouTube, and you can just purchase it for download for $4.99. They did not pay for that sponsorship, although they can, if they want to in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Shout
to.
out
Yeah.
Spotify and HBO.
Anthony Hopkins is just like, whatever.
Yeah, so the orchestral cover of Nine Inch Nails and Soundgarden.
Oh my God,
Rolling
I'm done.
Stones.
Yeah, Rolling Stones. That was amazing. That scene was amazing.
That was,
Yeah.
It was really well.
I haven't
It
even
was.
watched
We can
Westworld, but I
save
love
time
the
and
music.
talk about Westworld later because it's super good.
Because it's what?
It's super good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it is. So anyway, so
I'll catch up before
I
the next
needed to
city.
get. I was just saying, for me, I needed to get the hype. I was not in hype mode, and I couldn't get there, and that got me in hype mode for whatever reason.
I would say for
everybody
me,
else was
like,
hyped. I
the-
couldn't get there.
Aside from the fact that you had to win the game, obviously,
Yep.
to proceed into the playoffs. And it's funny, like if you listen to the television announcers for the other matches, both this week and then the first leg of this last round, they talk about it like that wasn't even the playoffs. It's interesting. They're like, oh, now that teams are in the playoffs, you're
Yeah.
like, or
Yeah.
that other round that just happened to be one game.
Yes. Or every single game we played from July until now.
Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
The RSL game most certainly was a
playoff game.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
But in some ways, like
yeah.
I would say, yeah. So rolling on from that RSL match, no pun intended, I almost felt like you play a familiar opponent that you like beating in Kansas City. And then you're like, yeah, we're going to keep going from here.
Oh, yeah.
It was almost like that helped in some ways
Oh, yeah.
going into
To
this
Dallas?
last
Absolutely.
round.
1,000%.
The team that, again, there's a lot of players who lost on penalties to Dallas who are still on the current Sounders roster. So to be able to come in
Oh, yeah.
hot,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure felt really good.
Yep.
So if anything, Kansas City was a nice
Appetizer?
appetizer.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
To
I agree.
roll into,
1,000%.
whether you agree with referee calls or not.
Yep.
At the end of the day, those all tend to balance out.
Yep.
So as much as you can listen to Peter Vermees or other people bitch and moan, I think it all works out at the end of the day.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. We have bounces go our way. They have bounces go their way. We happen to get the one this time in Kansas City.
Right.
Like you said, we beat a team we love beating.
Right.
And we kept going. So then we come into Sunday, and again, because I'm superstitious, I wore the exact same outfit and drove that day as well, and listened to Disney again all morning. Got my hype going, and then my wife got sick, and she couldn't make it to the game, which was a bummer. But I ended up sitting with Sarah. Sarah here in Renton.
Oh, yeah.
Joined us and sat with us, and enjoyed ourselves quite a bit. So let's talk about the Dallas game. The first half. Kind of.
The chat room is ridiculous.
Oh, it's pretty awesome right now. The chat room is pretty awesome. Yeah,
Are you
I
talking
love
about
it.
this current game? Yes.
No.
Yesterday?
We
Dallas home
the
game.
Dallas home
Home.
match. So we
Home leg.
beat the salty flyover state. The only thing good about it, their barbecue's terrible. Just kidding, Rachel.
It's actually really good.
It's actually good. I know it is.
Yeah.
I know it is. But I just like saying it for Rachel now to kind of
Okay.
to
Got
poke her. Not that she's watching, but and then so we go into Dallas. The first half's kind of okay.
What was it? 25, 30 minutes? 25, 30 minutes were...
Yeah.
And then it kind of changed before we got to the half.
I agree.
It felt tighter.
Yep.
So some of that was probably like, okay, Supporter Shield winners, Open Cup winners. Let's see what happens. You play a half of the half, see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then you start to
Make
play your
adjustments.
cards.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Just like, frankly, they did yesterday.
Absolutely.
Same kind of way, just in the reverse.
Yep.
So yeah, but as far as like getting into a half goes, I think we all got to halftime and we're like, all right,
Okay.
let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I felt.
Did anybody here expect? Forget the whole half that we got. Half of the second half of that.
You mean 9
those 8
minutes?
minutes?
Or 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
The
Really?
the 8 best minutes in Sounders history.
Insane.
Ever. Yeah. Yeah. It was one of those things where I like the first goal scored, and I'm like, okay, great, right? We're going to win the game, which we already thought. We kind of had that feeling. The atmosphere felt like a win in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then those next 2 goals, I did not realize that was an 8-minute span until I got home because it felt like
Forever.
Yeah.
It did. It felt like, and I thought we were gonna keep scoring. To be honest, I thought we were gonna keep
Like,
going.
we're just going to keep passing.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's open.
Morris, holy crap. Ladero, holy crap. I mean, not after Nelson's. I don't know. Yeah, I was caught off guard completely by the fact that it was only 8 minutes. I did not have any clue
It was
in my
insane.
head. Yeah.
And it was so early in the second half that, like, about minute 80, I'm thinking to myself, wait, the game's got to end any second now.
Yeah, right,
And
right.
No, we got 10 minutes plus
Yep.
another,
Uh-huh.
5.
Nope.
Yep.
It was just nuts.
Yes.
And it's so funny to like joke because I think we've all talked about Valdez for 8 months now. It was either absolutely coming
Yeah.
or he was going to be a complete disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it absolutely happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like the identical, diving crazy header. And then yesterday he had another one
Yeah,
like that.
just missed.
Just flying through the 6.
Yep.
Oh, just missed left.
And you're like,
I wanted that so
but
bad.
can you imagine that again?
Yeah.
I kind of wanted him to be on a goal-scoring
3.
streak
Oh,
in
me
the
too.
playoffs.
Me too.
We looked up
Ladero and Valdez on goal
Oh my
scoring
God.
streak.
one of the crazy things they went up against him is the goal-scoring record for a single playoffs is 8 goals.
8 goals?
Soon to be eclipsed by a certain person in Toronto.
Carlos
Yeah.
Ruiz had 8 goals
Oh, wow.
of one
Fuck
playoffs.
that guy.
Yeah.
No, literally.
My
fuck that guy.
my hate for him goes back many
You mean
many
Mariners pitcher Carlos Ruiz?
years. So yeah, he had 8 goals in a playoff series like a decade ago
Okay.
when he was with
Still kind of old,
Kansas
as soccer
City.
players
Yep.
go.
yeah, and maybe Giovinco can match that, but it's unlikely.
Dude's a monster. We can get to that.
Yeah, we
about
should- we
Canada
should,
for a minute.
absolutely.
But
Alec makes
But-
a good point here when Lodero scored that second goal.
Insane.
Oh,
First of all, the ECS section was just bananas.
the snake pit or
I
the
laughed
general?
because it was the first time of the
BANANAS.
5 matches we've had that platform that I wasn't in it because I was up at the top of 123. And I have a great view of all the players just running over the wall. It was like a waterfall of players.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And aside from the fact that the photos are fantastic, everybody that was in there was like genuinely shocked
Yeah.
that it happened in the first place.
Right.
Which I think was fantastic. Like, I think when you get used to that kind of thing, not even get used to it, but when you're jaded by it, that sucks. Like, the emotions that you see on like RC and some of the people in the different photos, they're like, holy shit, players are trying to jump on me right now. What
He
do I
attempted
do?
to repeat it kind of in Dallas
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like he ran over and he celebrated and he's like looking over there and he's like, wait, they're close enough I can touch them. So like as
Should I
everybody
do
else,
this?
everybody else, all the other players run back
Yeah.
and he's like, no, I'm
I'm
going
doing
over
it.
there.
Doing it.
So, you know,
Super fantastic. And I think it's been years since there's been anything like that, you know, with ECS specifically. It was a cool thing.
I mean, the last time I remember is Marcus Hanneman coming over to the beer garden at
Oh,
Starfire.
Jesus.
Drinking a beer.
Drinking the beer.
Drinking the beer. That was amazing.
that was after the PK stop against Portland, right?
Yeah, that was incredible.
But it just like stuff that people are going to write home about,
Yeah.
you know, for a really, really long
Well,
time.
it was cool that you fit 20,000 people in the snake pit that night too, because they all hugged him, right? It was a joke because everybody in 10 years is going to say, I was there to hug him, all 20,000 people.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was a joke.
And there were no
Tim and I were
wristbands.
up in the retirement section.
Tim and Mark were in
Where were you at?
reserve zone.
Injured reserve of GA.
Oh, because you guys were out. That's right.
We were
I
up
forgot
at the
about that.
top.
I forgot about that.
You kids go have your fun.
But anyway, I think what was cool about that was not just did it happen, but obviously people asked them about it after the game.
Yep.
Ladero was really, really specific in how he talked about not being able to do it. And if you've ever left this country, hell, left Seattle, you know, if you go to a Mariner game and you've ever gone into the bullpen, I actually go out there purposefully now because I can pretty much touch the sheriff who's just about able to touch the relief pitcher there, and like there's no netting or anything. Like
Yep.
it's just open.
Yep.
And that's a very Seattle thing. And it's not to say that the Green Bay Packers or whomever it is don't
Yep.
have that kind of access
Yeah.
or whatever. But I think our ability to not just like physically touch a player in that kind of situation or have them touch the fans, I think they actually mean it. And it was interesting to see his responses to that. And then having gone to see games in Mexico or Chile or Italy or wherever, there's literally like a plexiglass wall.
Or a moat.
Not even between me
Yeah.
and the field, like between me and the section next to a moat, like in Mexico City or in Guadalajara. Like there's
Barbed wire.
actually a moat between us and the field. Like they couldn't do that if they want. Like they couldn't hug their mom.
Yeah.
If they
In
wanted
Italy, they'd have to cross the track
Yeah, the track. Yep. That's
to get
right.
to the plexiglass.
France, Italy,
with the barbed wire on the top. Then.
Right.
Yep.
Like not
Okay, you
happening.
run across the track, and then you climb the plexiglass, then you avoid the barbed wire, and then you touch the one person, and then you got to run back because you're going to get a card.
Right. And I think the cool part about that was when one person does it, it's kind of awesome. Like, okay, I scored. I'm going to do this.
Yep.
They just keep
all
coming.
team, yeah.
It was just like pure moment. We're all in. Let's do this.
Yep.
And it was just really neat to see.
Yep.
And then the fact that they obviously still believe in it or think it's a good idea to do again, away.
Yes.
Was kind of
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
that's
he
when you
likes
realize
it.
there's a connection. There's something there.
Yeah, I think you saw the video. I don't know who posted it, Lickett or somebody posted it today, but you saw the video of him smiling in the locker room. And that dude.
He never smiles.
I know, but that's
Yeah.
just it. But Ladero is.
Dude in the
He's
locker
having a
room with
blast.
no shirt on is
Right.
just sitting there grinning.
Like he gets.
We don't play music. We do not dance.
Yeah,
Torres is like, fuck you, I'm dancing.
yeah.
I love
But
that. That, like, one of my favorite things about this year is when Nico Ladero showed up, he turned off the pregame music because the team needed to focus. And then, like, as soon as Torres plays, it's like, and the music came back on, and now they're dancing. It's like, look at his immense leader. And then, like, immediately that whole, like, leadership narrative disappears. because-
narrative gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, guess what? If
But
they
you can
like
hop
music,
like
they
a
like
bunny.
it. And, yeah.
I mean, if
you-
what is he, 6'5"?
If you're
missed-
built like a
you
linebacker
missed
and
that
hop like a
yesterday.
bunny,
Yeah.
you can do
hop like a
whatever you
bunny.
want.
Yeah,
all you want.
absolutely.
It's actually like the most wannabe imitated pub league dance ever right now. Is the Torres bunny
Torres
hop.
bunny hop. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
We did it at halftime, our second
Yeah.
match.
We actually did it in our Wednesday night game a couple of weeks ago, like during drills, like pregame when you're like going through the cones.
Yep.
We actually all hopped back
That's awesome.
like Torres, and then we were like, we should all just stop doing this right now.
Before we get past it, you mentioned something to write home about the players coming up. If you wanted to find some place that you could find some good stationery to write home, Constellation and Company.
Yep. Sarah said Constellation Company can provide the stationery with which to write home about.
Wait, Constellation and Company?
Yes, they're in the
Makes paper?
They do. They make stationery.
So they make it like from the pulp?
They do.
No.
In
Does
their shop.
Sarah
They make the
just like
printing.
shoe it herself?
Yes. Yes.
Because that's fantastic.
Lola and
It
Micah
is,
also
it is
help.
human
That's actually-
masticated.
It's actually
Paper,
probably Micah
yes.
because he's a toddler.
Yeah.
And they eat anything.
I'm
Yeah.
so uncomfortable right now.
You're the one who went
You,
there.
you
But they have-
literally
they do
started
have
that
a
joke.
bird.
That's your
Atticus,
Atticus is the best.
who's a finch.
Yep. Very nice and friendly.
He likes to scream.
LOLs.
Very friendly. Like you can pet
That
him.
was a
Almost.
really good weaved in advertisement that wasn't an advertisement.
Well, because they're the best. She really is the
Would
best.
you call that native advertising?
Fuck you, Dave. So anyway, so aside from which good sidebar talking
Yeah.
about players running over to the stands, I think
They were just trying to run through the wall.
No, they ran over the wall. It's a different thing.
I think what's really cool and like seeing the quotes afterwards was, and we've talked about this over the last 2-3 months, is that a lot of us said, in June, you're like, let's just not make the playoffs. Let's have a bad year. Let's get it over
Reset.
with.
Burn it all down.
Like not like you wanted to lose, but just in like we've been really lucky for a lot of years in Seattle. Like, let's just get it over with and get fans to realize that you're not going to make the playoffs and be epic every
Like
year.
it.
And then mid to late July happened, and since then it's just been insane.
Yeah.
And it hasn't stopped. And like it's funny to be able to make a joke where people are saying, since Brian Schmetzer's actually been the head coach, Sounders are winless.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of funny
It is.
to be able to say it and, go, I don't care.
Yeah. But he's also not been knocked out of
We're
the
in the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. I'm okay with that.
Whatever,
These playoffs
Pablo.
are so weird.
Yeah.
Pablo Mastroeni, who somehow managed to make it to his third year, and everybody expected him to get fired,
the
and now he
facial
has the
hair.
second best team in the league.
Yeah.
Except they can't score.
He also
ever.
had, I think, the second best pose in that. Thank you. In that, was it Sports Illustrated? The one with Landon Donovan and the water fountain.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a second best pose. He was on the bench. You remember him laid out? Look that up. Google it.
No.
I'm good
The
with
that
only
was
thing
the
I want to
second
think
best
about
pose.
Pablo is
Losing?
his mustache era, because he had the swashbuckler pirate mustache look
He
going
actually
last
had
year.
the I'm gonna tie you to the train tracks and be like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, so anything else about Dallas? So we went down there. We played okay. We almost had the amazing Nico free kick off the post. That would have been
That's actually a
amazing.
good conversation. That was actually Jeremiah and a few other people were talking about that today. And I think there was the comment of, obviously, he's here now and Mauro isn't and others aren't.
Yep.
I really like Ivanchitz. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I think Ladero's free kicks, no matter where they're from, are just dirty.
Yeah, I think from a corner. I think from a set piece. Whatever.
I have to say, though, if you have Ladero and Ivanchitz on the field at the same time,
Yeah.
and you're the defense,
Yeah,
I'd be like, you
Scared.
actually should be terrified.
absolutely. I always liked Clint, right? I thought Clint always had a good, had a good,
And
good
he's
set piece.
disgusting.
Yeah, right. But
Clint
Ladero's
was okay at direct kicks.
direct
but that's
kicks,
it.
yes, at direct hits, correct.
Well, yeah.
Nico's set piece, regardless. I mean, from
I
anywhere.
think his corners are great.
Yeah, I do
I don't
too.
understand the they're
He's
this. I'm like,
average or whatever. I saw that
yeah,
too. I didn't.
I don't know if I'd say that.
Yeah, I don't think
They're not
average.
flat.
No,
I think they're
They
fine.
Sometimes they
move.
want flat.
you do.
Sometimes you actually just want to boot the ball into
Yeah.
the box and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yep.
Especially when you're wasting time.
Right.
No comment. Anyway, Ladero, though, he's not Jovinko. Like, it's a different thing.
Yep.
He's staggeringly good. And what I hope is that 3, 4, 5 years from now, we look back at him coming in and just go, wow, is he actually in the top 2 or 3 players the
Yeah.
Sounders have ever had? Forget signings.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between the people you've signed, like DPs or whatever,
Yeah.
but players who've ever played for your team.
Yeah.
And we have such a history here
Uh-huh.
that you can actually look at that and say, holy shit.
Yeah.
Let's hope he plays 3, 4, 5 years and it's just dumb the whole time.
There's this pretty cool string of signings that MLS has right now of these under 30s that you got Giovinco, you got Nico, you got Giovanni Dos Santos, who resurrected his career
He absolutely
from
did.
out of nowhere to be, if the Galaxy didn't suck, he would have been an
miss
MVP
penalties.
candidate. Well, that too.
He tried.
Ignacio Piatti, who
Piatti.
if he
Oh,
didn't play in
holy
Montreal,
crap.
would be an MVP candidate.
Yeah,
but he's in
absolutely.
Montreal, so
Yep.
not even Canada cares.
Yeah.
I'm actually really
Not even
happy
Canada
for
cares.
Piatti to be better than Jovinko in the next round for selfish reasons.
Dude, they sold 20,000 tickets in 24
Yeah.
hours.
Montreal did
Yes.
because they're moving it to the
They're
61,000
playing in Olympic
To the-
Stadium.
yeah.
Olympic. Yeah, which is cool. I think that's awesome. by
Not
the way.
only did they sell 20,000 tickets in their first 24 hours, but the trains that run from Toronto to Montreal for the entire day leading up to the game
Yeah.
are completely sold out already.
Holy
That's
crap.
because
Fantastic.
about 2,000 to 3,000 people that
That's
are taking the train
awesome.
from Toronto to Montreal that normally wouldn't.
that is fantastic.
So the Expos leaving has had a really, really positive effect on Montreal.
Yeah. So do you think they'll get 60, 61?
I mean,
think
they got 55 when they made the CCL final.
Okay.
I'd say
They've
50-55.
done
Okay.
50-55 for
Okay.
an opener.
Yeah.
They did a season
Yeah,
opener at
right.
Leo.
I think they'll be about the same.
They've got another 2 weeks to sell.
That's the
That's
problem.
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
right.
great.
Yeah.
You've got 2 weeks to sell against with a Giovinco, a Josie Altidore, and a Michael Bradley.
Coming, yeah.
You've
They're
got
playing the same
PDA
night, though, right?
Yeah, they're going to be the opener.
Wait, they're playing.
It's
they're
now a
both-
doubleheader.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
MLS doubleheader.
Because it
Not
was
different
originally
networks.
The
going to be
20th
the
and
East
22nd.
that night,
Yeah.
except if Seattle had to play. So the West
there's
was going to
concert.
play
Right, I knew that.
Sunday.
Yeah, I knew that.
So yeah, they're playing at 5 Pacific.
And what time are we at?
something.
Do we know what time we're at?
4:30, and we're at 7.
7.
Oh, 7.
I think,
We're
yeah.
7. Okay.
Or
I think-
7:30?
Yeah, 4:30. I guess it is. Yeah.
So they're starting it. Yeah.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't realize. I did not know that.
So MLS will own the night.
1:30 and 4:30.
That's great because nothing else will be on Tuesday
Nice.
night.
Yeah,
It's a
and-
Tuesday night of Thanksgiving. Nothing else is on.
Well, but it's Canada, and
NBA
they
will,
don't
but-
celebrate that holiday then.
No, I understand.
so
I'm talking about
it's
here
good
in
for
the
them.
States, though.
No, but for marketing purposes,
Yeah.
It's actually bad for us.
yeah. I've already met people who are out of town that week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
a
well-
lot of people took that whole week.
No,
so
right.
I think we'll be fine.
But you guys
We already
sold
got
out of your tickets in
35,000.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, or overnight.
Overnight, we sold most of what we had. We asked for more this morning.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And the Sounders had let us know that everything else they were selling in the stadium was selling really, really fast.
Okay.
I
yeah.
think they'll get 45 to 50
Do you think so?
That's it.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Tuesday hurts.
Yeah, I think it
I think
does,
if
too.
it was Sunday, I think you'd have 50 without a problem.
We'll see.
Well, because if on a weekend,
Yeah, on the weekend you have that, but I think that again you get an extra 2 days to sell. It's on Thanksgiving weekend, so a lot of people
Yeah.
are. I mean, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, how many people are going to work a full day of work
Nobody.
anyway?
No one
right?
does.
right? That's why you should go out and get lit up at the game.
That's why you get hammered at the game
Yeah.
and you work from 11 to 2.
Yeah, good point. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Call it a full day
Yeah.
work.
There you
Except if you like, or a UPS
Unless
man
you're
or
not
something.
working.
go. Yeah.
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 Anyway,
So Montreal is going to have a great sales. For TV purposes, they can advertise, game at the Olympic Stadium,
Yep.
historic Olympic Stadium, which is a completely trash facility now, but it's historic. And you've got Josie and Giovinco and Bradley and Piatti and Didier Drogba cares again.
Yep.
That somehow Biello rescued that relationship, and he's like, "Yeah, if I start, okay, cool. If I sub, okay, cool." And they've Laurent Simon, who is a great center back, still getting called up by Belgium, even though he's playing in MLS. So,
Do you think Toronto
Fun
is
game.
as good as they performed against New York
no,
NYFC, or is it just because of the small pitch and or New York City's kind of crappiness? Because they played that. I watched that almost entire full game.
they basically
and I
played
couldn't
against
believe
the
it.
first half of the season NYCFC.
Yeah, that's what it
It's
felt like.
essentially what it came out
Yeah,
as.
right.
Toronto's good, but at the end of the day, I mean, Tim and a few of us were talking about this earlier tonight. You're now playing a derby match.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the conference final.
By the way, if
anything could happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
we love the whole Portland versus Seattle thing, and wow, that in ways that goes back 40 years, or maybe it goes 60 years. At the most, it goes 100 years. When you're talking the Toronto-Montreal derby match, that goes back about 700 years.
Right.
They're like, actually secede, please.
Yeah.
Like, go right now.
Like when we
don't
talk
care about your
political
cheese
covered
hatreds
things.
and whatnot, that's it's Scotland, England, it's
Yeah.
France, England. It's something with centuries of rivalry. So that's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun to watch.
Who comes out on top? Do you think? If you had to say right now, Montreal or Toronto?
God, I don't know, because there's going to be something like 10 or 9, 10, 11 goals total scored
Okay.
in those two games, because
Yeah.
both teams can't stop
Yeah.
a goal.
Right.
Right.
So, when you get into those extraordinarily high scoring circumstances, it's hard to guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is funny, because later tonight you're probably going to ask me about the Western Conference.
Yeah, I will be. Yeah.
And I'm going to use the exact opposite justification to not guess,
Okay.
because there'll be 3 or 4 goals scored.
Yeah. Exactly. It'll be a low scoring. Yeah. Exactly.
And they're all going to be in the first half by Nelson Valdez.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the end of the game.
Nelson
only
Valdez
scores
is
at
going
the
to
end, right?
tie Carlos Ruiz.
Let's not stress us out.
I agree.
Let's go back to the altitude in Colorado, up 3-0.
Yeah, I agree. That would be fantastic.
The elevation.
No, altitude.
Yeah, fuck you.
Against the PIDs, it's the altitude. Oh, sorry. Against the PIDs.
I would say toss up
Yeah. The same here. I mean,
The
of course,
East.
we want
for sure.
for
Oh,
obvious
Montreal.
reasons,
For
Montreal to
selfish
win.
reasons.
For selfish reasons, assuming that we pull off our end of the bargain. We want Montreal so we can be here, and so that our folks who can't get into Canada can go to the match. A lot of people online have said that today.
Wait, are you saying that there's people who can't get into Canada?
That's what I've heard.
okay.
I've heard that.
I
saw a
just
lot of
want
tweets
them
today.
to play Montreal so that we have to wear green jerseys.
Yes,
Because if we played Toronto,
No, we
could
could-
play in blue.
Well,
Blue
blue
would
would
be
be
fine.
okay, and green would be okay.
Yeah.
as long as we don't have to play the stupid.
No one's
white.
going to force white, and that's what I'm
That's the
concerned
same
about.
here.
goodness.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be better to win
Although,
in our greens.
although this
I agree.
season would be kind of funny if the Sounders make MLS Cup final and they have to play
Gears
an
of-
Olympic white.
Gears of War.
Just be like, we're playing an Olympic white. Why?
Literally, the betting line would change in Vegas.
Yeah, it would.
Just due to Matto.
Like
Yeah.
the travel, like the travel costs
By
would
himself.
actually decrease.
Yes.
like flights would go to zero. Alaska would
People would
just be like,
cancel their flights.
"Please go to Canada."
We're
And
chartering
like,
this
"No,
plane for free for you.
We're all going to go to the AC.
Exactly. We're all going to pile in. So okay, all right. So
You better order more Sparkle Donkey.
let's talk about our matchup then. So we beat Dallas. That's over with. We're done. Moving on. Right. You don't you guys want to talk about Dallas anymore, but
Nope.
I kind of don't really want to. I mean,
Fuck them.
we lost the game, which sucked. Right. I wanted to win. I wanted to win or a draw win, but it didn't matter. Of course, that's why.
But
we
it was
scored
fun
three
though
goals.
to make people in Texas understand that they won a game.
Yes,
and
lost.
yet lost.
Yes,
we're rather familiar with that feeling.
Yeah.
we are.
That
That was
second
actually
leg.
really
Yeah, we
fun
played well, but
against LA.
Yes.
Like leaving the stadium, people are like, "I don't understand, Bob.
Yeah.
What just happened?"
Yeah.
And you're like, just walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, people that go to game 3 of a 7-game series that lose, but are like looking forward to the next game.
They were
somehow
throwing
can't
things
understand.
on the field in Dallas.
They did?
Yeah.
That was
You
that
know
was
what's
the
great
time
is they have all
wasting
that
for
video,
Fry.
Yeah. Do you know what they'll do nothing with? That video.
Yeah.
But they're the best security team in the MLS.
I'm excited though for the Soccer Hall of Fame. Not really. That none of us will probably ever go to.
It'll
Whatever.
add an hour to your visit to Frisco.
Great.
It'd be a
Things
worthwhile
nobody
hour.
wants.
Yeah. If I'm there, I don't.
I mean, you're
ever-
going to go to Dallas anyway, so you might as well visit the Soccer Hall of Fame.
But I'll actually go to Dallas though.
Well, but no, you
Frisco.
already are going to go to Frisco,
Well, that's true.
and you're going to get held in a pen.
We should all just
So
you
you
go.
might
enter
as
the
well
stadium, so you might as well
Go
go to the
look
Hall
at
of Fame.
like the Carlos
Archie
Ruiz
Bunker,
corner.
or whatever his name is, from that World Cup where the U.S. beat England. Archie, whatever.
Yeah.
Archie Bunker.
There's like the Hunt wing at the U.S. Soccer Hall of
Hunt
Fame.
deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely does. Maybe the only
Can-
thing good to come out of.
Okay.
Texas
We're done-
teams.
We're done with Dallas then.
Can I
Damn.
one more? Can I say I'm slightly disappointed nobody put a Sounder scarf on the Hunt
On the Lamar Hunt
Lamar Hunt
trophy or statue, the
statue.
bronze. You know what? They have security footage, and they will use it in that case.
Everyone was too busy getting a margarita.
Ooh, that would have been good.
A margarita?
Dude, there's like a liquor bar
It's
Where?
Texas.
in Texas. You can't get liquor in a store on Sunday.
Yeah.
But you can get like a double Jack and Coke at the game and go to your seat.
And they have drive-through
you
liquor
can
stores.
get liquor in your seats here. You just have to have the really expensive seats. Only rich people get liquor.
No, I know that. I
essentially.
knew. Yeah, I knew that. I knew we had that here, but I did not realize
No,
Dallas.
oh,
had-
there's a stand
Has
for
that
that.
always been that way?
Yes.
Because I was
Dude,
there
it's
in
Texas. There's drive-through liquor
No,
stores.
I know that, but I don't remember that. Maybe because when I went
Yes.
there, it was like 110 degrees. So,
Did you see Roman Torres at the Walmart?
In Texas,
the
Do you know why he was there?
to buy liquor?
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know that.
I don't either.
But
he needed shorts.
I would have.
What kind
Probably.
of like? I imagine I'm probably going to commission Emily to draw like Ramon Torres
Watercolors?
in like 27 different shorts. Because like he'd be totally like the guy with like those ugly
Yeah.
shorts that you,
Yeah.
the,
Sorry.
the person on the cruise buys because like they forgot their
Yeah.
bathing
Yeah.
suit kind of thing. Except Torres loves how he looks in them and
size 39, 40.
he would also like he would either have
You want another
way
beer? Oh,
overly
you got one.
baggy, or he'd have the shorts that are like skin tight, but
Yeah.
they weren't designed that way.
Oh my god. Oh jeez. Yeah.
At
We
the
could
same
spend the
time.
next 7 minutes talking about Roman Torres' thighs.
I like Roman. Okay, let's talk about his bear hug then before we leave. That bear hug that he did in the locker room. So is he healthy, by the way? Is he? Do we know? Have we heard?
Well, I mean, they said if he was healthy, he was going to start.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
not healthy.
Okay.
I'm
Then
gonna
again,
guess
he danced. He
Yeah.
did his own elbow drop into the dirty laundry.
2
and then-
weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's also so unhealthy that Panama called him up.
Yeah.
And not in like that ceremonial role that they did when
Yeah.
he had his blown knee.
Yeah.
They called him up because they need to win games.
Yeah.
I think it's a really weird thing to say, but Zach Scott's played a couple games
Yep.
almost on the down low.
Yep.
Didn't really cause any issues. Actually, the Zach Scott haters from the middle of the season,
Yeah. Have disappeared.
it's weird. They haven't had anything to say. Do you know why? Because he kicked the shit out of some people for a couple of games.
Yeah.
Or
Speaking up,
didn't
but
bang anything up.
The 2 goals they scored, watching them in the replay today, was there miscommunication between
Everybody?
Yeah, pretty much the whole back line. Pretty much
Just
the whole
like,
back line.
wait, you.
Yeah, because like Marshall, Scott, and Mears, none of them were at fault per se, but they all
But they
looked
were
at each
all at
other.
fault,
They were all at fault.
because-
Right, but I'm just saying.
But
it
it's not
wasn't
something
like
where you were like,
Mears
Scott
screw
got
you or
torched.
Scott screw you.
Right,
Yeah,
nothing
it was,
like that.
No.
Speaking of Zach Scott, if you go to wearecs.com, you could probably find tickets to the
Oh,
Zach Scott
yes, you
testimonial.
should.
Not
You
sponsored,
should.
but should be.
Yeah.
yeah, buy your tickets now.
No, I'm just telling you to buy
yeah.
the damn tickets.
How are they
I'm
doing? Are
just-
they doing well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
It's going to have lots of fun for you.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good time.
it will be.
I'm generally speaking expecting that people need to get through Sounders season.
Yes.
Had the Sounders torched themselves out of the playoffs
Yes.
and whatnot, we'd
It would-
probably be
yes.
focusing on off-season things.
By the way,
such as that.
one of the guys that got man-marked out of existence by Zach Scott is former teammate Seb Latu.
Yep.
Remember when he came here in his first game again with the Philadelphia Union?
Yep.
I'm
it was
excited to
Scott
see him
that
for a
marked
couple
him.
games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Latu was really angry,
Oh, yeah.
and Zach Scott knocked him on his ass a few
couple
times and then
times,
climbed him
yep.
like a ladder.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be fun to watch again.
Are you going to stream the Zach Memorial? Adam Weigel would like to know.
I just said, I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
There's a fair chance that we will do
Okay,
that.
all right.
Our goal is obviously to get people to come out to it.
No, of course.
Ideally, we will at a minimum have some quality video record of that
Okay,
particular
perfect.
event.
Great.
But the goal would be to stream it.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons,
Sure.
not everybody can actually come
Come to
match.
it. Yes, exactly.
So we
Okay.
totally get it.
Tickets for as low as $10.20.
Thanks, Dave.
Why would it be 10-20?
10's cheap.
20 is his uniform number.
Oh, Zach Scott? That makes sense now. I know.
I asked
Maybe
that
you've
same
heard of
question
him.
when
I've
I-
already asked this like I know 20 times a year, and I'll probably do it 20
It's
more
good
times.
though. If you keep playing dumb like you don't know,
Uh-huh.
you actually forgot this time.
No, I
but,
did not.
yeah.
I do. I knew why it
just
was
pretend.
10-20. I totally was dumb. I didn't remember that. Okay. Anything else on Dallas then? Because we went back to that. We talked about Roman. Can we talk about maybe Mr. Coach for a
Brian
moment?
Schmetzer?
Can we talk about Mr. Schmetzer?
Oh, do we have a coach now?
Yeah, Mr. Schmetzer. Do you guys want to talk about
I already
Mr.
had a
Schmetzer?
coach.
Well,
He was never my interim.
yes.
I agree. But can we just talk about how awesome, it is to see him as coach? To watch him in the locker room after the game yesterday,
Well-
be him, to hear him talk. I know we talked about this after the Alliance Council meeting, but just watching him talk.
It was good
is
seeing
special.
him actually be crabby that they didn't win the game
Yeah.
and understanding obviously that they had a victory of the series, but still being like, you guys lost.
Yep.
Okay. But just realize I'm paying attention to this was kind of cool.
I liked his words to Ozzy too. And we're not done yet. Like
Yeah.
Ozzy's hungry, and Schmetz is agreeing. He's like,
Yeah.
this wasn't the goal. The goal wasn't the Western Conference Finals.
No.
And if you go back to just before the season ended, somebody asked him, is like making the playoffs good enough or something along those lines. And he's like, no, this season isn't. We're the Sounders. We win trophies. This season isn't a success unless we win a trophy. And the only one left is MLS Cup. So it's, and he tried to backpedal it later. But let's be honest, we all believe that. Like that. It's not the benchmark in that the coach needs to be fired if they don't win MLS Cup. But it's also the benchmark if you want your success. It's basically you win a trophy here and you win a major. You win one that gets you into the Champions League. There's one left.
Well, there clearly going after the hardware.
Oh yeah.
This isn't just, oh, we're going to play this out. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
It's a fun little
You know,
story.
Yeah.
A few of us had a chance to talk with him on the way out of the
Yep.
business meeting.
Yep.
And without giving up the ghost on too many things, the part that I talked with him with other people around was like, hey, how are you feeling about this week? Whatever. And he's like, we've got a game to play. It's still important. Mission critical, blah, blah. Like, same thing he talked about, like, post-game after losing was his game going into it.
Absolutely.
And as much as we were all laughing, like, LOL, just don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
He took that into consideration and was like, yeah, we know we can lose the game, but we're going in
To win.
to
win.
rough this team up.
Absolutely.
And like that was kind of cool to see.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'd be too hindsight is 2020 to say that Ziggy or anybody else would ever say otherwise. But as much as I think we give credit to Ladero and others for things since midseason, I do think there's something to Schmetzer just having a particular tone and attitude towards approaching game to game to game to game to game. And frankly, I meant it that way, like game, next game, not like, we got games left. It was, we're going to play this game.
You heard what he
We're gonna
said
play this game.
last night after the match.
Yeah.
He said, I'll talk about Colorado tomorrow or in 2 days. We're not going to talk about Colorado tonight. They're a great team. We're looking forward to playing them. We're going to study a lot of tapes. We're going to blah, blah, blah. But tonight, we're going to focus on the victory, the series victory, he said. We're going to focus on this, and then we're going to go attack Colorado. That's what I like, is that there is that, like, we're not looking ahead to yet. We're looking at today. Today is what matters. Today is where we are. Let's do today.
Yeah.
Let's do Tuesday the 22nd. That's now that yesterday's over, that's the focus. And that's what they're going to focus on now is Colorado. They're not going to think about anything beyond that. And I love that about Schmetzer. I love that. Because I think Ladero, obviously, Roman Torres, et cetera, right? Alvaro, Flacco coming back. Adding 3 players helped. We can't say that did not help. It changed the dynamic of the team. But Schmetzer, in my opinion, was a big catalyst for that as well. He let them be themselves.
There were so many different things that happened, and it's hard to separate any of them out. I mean, adding one of the best signings in MLS history, big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Getting Roman Torres back, big deal.
Yeah.
The energy and focus that the team has had in light of the Dempsey heart irregularity thing.
Yeah.
Big deal. Because they couldn't just stand and watch Nico and Clint do shit.
Yeah.
I've
In
watched
some
enough
ways-
sports to, like, there's the Michael Jordan effect where it's like you just pass the ball to him and then you just stand there. And we dealt with that in the Oba Clint era where, like, everybody besides Lamar Nagel would just watch those two do their thing.
Yep.
And Lamar would be like, well, I can get a rebound and knock it in.
Yep.
But the rest of them would just be like,
But that might actually be the most important thing this season is that you lost Clint fucking Dempsey.
Yeah.
And that you're still like, oh no, we're good.
Yeah.
We're just going to figure this out. And just go, Morris is going to play midfield, and we're going to put Valdez up top in the
Remember when
playoffs.
Morris was a really bad idea as a winger?
Yeah.
Oh, it works now.
Yeah.
Actually worked out pretty well. Oh, and then we're going to move him to the right side because the other team learned how to defend against him. Oh, and then we'll just throw Herc Gomez out there because
Why not?
to make
By
some
the way,
changes. and
I have
blah,
a
blah,
feeling that Herc Gomez is going to score against Colorado Rapids because
because Jerry
people have
needs
been
another tattoo.
Well, no, but
Yes.
people were down on Valdez, and all of a sudden he's the one of the hotter players in the playoffs.
And it
People
keeps-
were down
and it
on
keeps on
Jovan
coming.
Jones,
Yep.
and all of a sudden he's contributed to 4 of the 5 goals.
What is he the
People were-
leading assist
Ever
giver
in the playoffs?
in Sounders
Playoff
playoff history?
Yeah.
People were down on Tyrone Mears.
He
had a-
performed.
Which, by the
Really
way,
poor
that
year.
was sick.
That was redonkulous.
I love huge run, and then he lost the ball but didn't give up on it.
And like he would have
immediately
normally.
He's like, there have been
Or haven't
times
passed.
like against Sporting
He's given
Kansas
up.
City,
Yeah.
when
Where he
he
gave up.
quit.
He
He
quit.
quit on the team on,
Yeah.
on a couple of occasions,
Yeah.
and that was one. Like Tyrone Mears quitting on the team is probably one of the reasons Siggy Schmidt is in the coach.
Absolutely. Not the reason, but it definitely contributed.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that.
No.
and we started this kind of conversation talking about what Brian Schmetzer's done.
Yep.
And one of the things that he did was he gave the players ownership.
Yes.
It's like, you win or lose, it's on you.
Yeah.
You can't look to the coach.
Yep.
It's on you. And then to the media and to the fans, in losses or poor performances, Schmetzer's been like, it's on me. But in wins, he always directs it towards the players. And what you've kind of seen is the players have had to care in a level that they didn't for about a year.
Yeah. I agree.
It happens. We saw it with Lou Piniella. Players stopped reacting.
That's
we saw
right.
it with George Carl. Players stopped reacting.
Yep.
Over time, players tune out their coach.
Especially if you have a coach like that style, which he is very much in that ilk of those two.
One of the funnier things about Siggy is all the players that used to play for him are like, one of the best coaches I ever had. All the players while they're playing for him, I can't believe he's such a hard.
Yeah.
He's like, and Schmetz has talked about this a little bit, where there's the type of players coach where your players love you afterwards, but
Yes.
not during.
Yes.
And then there's the type of players coach that they love you during because you can get away with shit. And Brian is trying to ride that line between the two. He doesn't want you getting away with it, but he wants you to own it.
Exactly.
And so far it's working, and it's working very well.
Yep.
I'm of the opinion there are three aspects to coaching. There's the kind of tactical stuff, that chess match stuff that we see. There is the training and the ability to improve a player. And then there's the psychological. And if kind of like every player has a key asset, in this case, Brian Schmetzer's key asset is understanding the psychology of the players that he works with. And for a lot of Sounders fans didn't like Siggy's tactics, but his understanding of tactics was extraordinary.
Absolutely.
He might have made choices that you didn't like.
Yep.
Most of them involving the first leg of a 2-leg playoff series.
Are you talking about Shalry Joseph?
I'm not talking about that, actually, because that was actually the right
Can we
move to
not
make
talk
at the
about
time.
Okay, I was
Because
asking. I was clarifying.
literally every other player was injured.
I understand.
His other options were
He-
going to
he
be
had
like
Brian
Eric
Schmetzer.
Zavaleta.
That would have been fine.
I mean, he had an assist yesterday.
Zavaleta, by the way, is like the key to Toronto's defense.
Which
And
is kind of funny.
it's kind of interesting because he's not a very good defensive player.
Yeah.
Like their
But he's
defense
playing
is
as
like
defender.
hold them to 1 or 2 goals.
So
That's the
let's
Toronto
come back
defense.
to that in a second. I want to talk
What?
about the
Shalry?
the strategic discussion, not Shalry specifically, like strategy for
Yeah.
a minute. But I had a conversation with someone, and they pointed me to some conversations online, which were that outside backs were failed center backs or failed wingers.
What?
And it was like a super smug, like EPL veteran person who had made this comment. And I was like, I get what you're saying, because it's probably easy to like look back at people's history and go, oh, well, they tried to play winger.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you tried to play winger on Manchester United and 97 people
Yeah.
were in that role. It's not quite that easy to say something like that. But when you talk about outside backs, some of them are really, really good defenders, and some of them are Tyrone Mears. What?
Sorry, normally I don't really go for Alex at Seattle Sportsnet, but
That is a good
John
call.
Ryan's punt going 75 yards in the air.
That's a
is fucking
lot.
incredible.
That's long.
You know what
Unfortunately,
sucks
hopefully
about
the next tweet isn't that somebody
It got
returned
blocked.
it. It hit.
Net 62.
Net 62 is
we'll take
great.
that. Yeah.
One of the things I
John
hate
Ryan.
about the Sounders making a playoff run is I get a lot less John Ryan time.
Are you
I
going to
need
be
my
okay?
John Ryan time. No.
You'll probably
We'll
be
get to
okay.
that story later, but
Anyway,
you're talking about...
I was just talking about outside backs. That
Yeah.
like some of them are defense first players. Like I would say that's maybe the more accurate criticism if you want to criticize outside backs as a whole. Is too many of them are focused on offense. Like look at Sounders. No matter who's playing with Tyrone Mears, Jones, or anyone else, Mears is doing that overlap run, what, 99.7% of the time? Like, it feels that way, that he's up the field
Mears
a
only
lot.
had 12 passes against
No. But
Dallas.
I'm saying it feels like he's up the field more
He's been-
than the other defender is.
since they settled on Joven, Mears has actually been the
More
stay-at-home
withdrawn.
fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
One of the things the Sounders have done, both under Siggy and under Schmetzer, is had one of the fullbacks get forward.
Yep.
More.
Yep.
We had that with it was DeAndre Yedlin.
Yep.
Early, it's kind of funny. Early Leo Gonzalez, it was Leo that got forward with James Riley staying back.
That's right.
And then over time, that switched.
I felt like this season, the beginning to the mid, there was not strategy behind it. I feel like there was a point, 3-4, actually, we talked about it on the show, that there was a point where Mears all of a sudden was the stay at home, like wasn't up there. And I feel like there are times where he's up.
Because his crosses are bad.
Well, yeah. But when they're good, they're really, really, really good.
Yeah, but his middle name is Lofted Cross.
Yeah.
But the two low
He
ones
aims-
he's
he
had,
aims
I
either
think that we've
far
scored
post-
goals.
Yes, we have. Yeah, absolutely.
He either aims far post or far corner flag.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of his cross.
I think
I
that-
love those few times when he cuts in at the elbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those
drives
are the
in.
best.
In fact, that's when Joven Jones is at his best.
Absolutely.
That's when you see Joven, also not a good crosser, but he has the speed and the dribbling technique still that if he cuts in at that elbow, it's almost a Zakawani-esque move where the defense has to understand that he could go end line with cutback, he could go in on goal, or he could just pass it to about the 6.
Yeah.
So Joven on that drive at the elbow is so impressive. And that's part of what's opening him up to have these crosses that are varied lengths and height because they have to back off of him to give the space to react on the dribble. So yeah, I like the Joven Jones.
Going back to this
is
discussion-
Joven Jones with a broken foot too.
Right,
So next year we're
exactly,
gonna
yeah.
have
Which is still crazy right now.
But going back to it, it was like I was one of them calling for Mears' head when Schmetzer came on board. In those first couple of games, even after the Kansas City, after interim, Brian was here. It was rough.
He was
at fault.
the GOAT.
Yes.
And not the good kind of GOAT
No.
in that Kansas City game for obvious reasons.
And then 3 or 4 more times in the next month,
Yeah.
he was also the GOAT, letting in the goal for not marking and or being lazy or
yeah,
whatever.
like Mears had
So, really
a
rough
bad
summer.
60% of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was
And then,
pretty okay.
yeah.
And last match, like
Yeah.
he was the stay at home and
But
he
it's almost
wasn't
like
a
the reason
dribbler
they
or-
brought him in the first place.
Oh,
a couple
I remember,
years ago,
like,
was
his-
this. Like I knew who he was before, and then he gets here, and you're like, oh,
his
Yeah.
first
Oh, okay.
3 months
Yeah.
when he replaced DeAndre were as a very you've got beer already, dude. And he was replacing Yedlin, and he was getting forward just as much as Yedlin with better defense.
Yeah.
And so, like, the first 3 months were like Tyrone Mears, best right back in
Ever,
MLS.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, no, Tyrone Mears, a right back in MLS.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's been interesting to see him develop. And what we've wound up with is Tyrone Mears is an average right back in MLS. He's capable.
Yeah.
He's capable of changing the game, but he's also capable of changing the game poorly.
Yeah, giving it away.
but he's had 3 seasons this season.
This season, yes. This
No.
year, he's had 3 seasons.
And
Yep.
it's in a really weird way. I almost feel like Jones Mears, even when they both want to bomb up, actually works out.
Yeah.
Because Marshall's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Torres, Scott, whomever else is
Ozzy,
playing
yeah,
center
whoever,
back.
yep.
You know,
Rolled
the
on.
other CDM,
Yep.
whoever. Like, someone's always going to step back enough and roll around
Yep.
that it works out.
Exactly.
And that's actually probably pretty scary if you have a decently fast player on the outside.
Absolutely.
You know, crosses aside, you can trash either of their crosses, but somebody who can actually make a move and, like, again, love him or not, there are a couple times you see Mears and he's not doing the Marco Papa of 2014, taking 2 guys into the corner
Yes.
and coming out with the ball. But I don't know. I watch Mears go towards the corner with the ball, and you're like, oh, he's going to come out with that. Or we're coming out with that
Yep.
at a minimum.
Yep.
You know, I don't really fear it.
Giving up the ball that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. So they announced Schmetzer during the Alliance Council meeting.
Oh yes.
So
We sang some songs.
We sang some songs.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Somebody live sarcastically tweeted and booed people.
That was you.
Oh, that was me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who that was.
Yeah.
That was me. I
saw it on the
admitted
internet.
I did too, because I admitted it on the internet.
I saw it in real life.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You were right behind me. But they announced him during during the playoffs, which was an interesting choice, I thought, in the middle of the leg.
I would say it's not like hand was forced by the fans or whatever.
Yeah, it was. I'm totally taking credit for it.
I tweeted
No,
him
I'm-
every game, so I
The
totally did it.
fans had a
Yeah.
hand in it. It was time for that to be done.
Yep. And we talked about it afterwards, that it was definitely the time, because that was the only time you're going to have that kind of an audience.
They totally ruined my whole playoff hype strategy.
Yeah.
I had like 7 more political themed hire Schmetzer posts planned, and then they hired him, and like I wanted to use that in mid-December. Now what am I going to do? They're going to play 3 more games.
You'll probably get page views from some other thing.
Yeah, but then I have to come up with other ideas, and that's hard.
I'm sorry.
Actual
No,
content.
no.
Oh, peanut gallery out there.
Will you give him
Tim,
a
Tim, I
shoulder
don't write
pat?
about soccer anymore. I got smarter people to do that. I just do hype shit now.
Hey.
What are you doing? There you go. Now you look like a
It's a cute look for you.
a newsie.
It's a cute look for me.
If you had the right
Good
hat.
movie for Christian Bale.
It was a great Christian Bale movie.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that movie.
What movie did I see? Oh, the Wonder Woman previews.
I have not seen him.
Chris Pine plays Brad Pitt
Yes.
playing a World
Which
War
is
One
super weird.
officer. Like, I'm totally like watching those previews, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, that's Brad Pitt." Oh no, never mind. That's not Brad Pitt as a World War
In
One
Wonder
officer.
Woman?
It's Chris Pine.
Have you seen the Wonder Woman?
No, I
preview?
have not seen it yet.
There are 2 trailers out. And
Should maybe look at the
I
internet.
will.
The
I
lead-
haven't really at all.
The lead
No.
actor is Chris Pine.
Yeah, I know who he
Except
is.
everything about the role he's playing
Is Brad Pitt?
is as if Brad Pitt were playing.
But it's
That
Chris
role.
Pine.
But it's Chris Pine.
I think the Seahawks just did a thing.
Yeah, they just had a sack, so I think they're going to win.
Whatever.
So it's kind of a thing. And Newsies, cutie. I don't know how I got onto that, but
The scarf.
Just go with it.
The way the scarf wrapped around you made me think of Newsies.
So anyway,
Should have gotten them.
so Brian Schmetzer. We talked about Brian Schmetzer for a while.
Should have. Yes.
how much more do I need to talk about Brian Spencer? It's
That's-
weird because I talked to all of you guys after the
this, yeah.
signing, but we
Yeah.
didn't have a podcast.
No.
We had wine though.
We did have wine and I have whiskey.
Yes, we
I
did.
wrote
And
I
gin.
wrote a post at Tom's
it was.
rooftop
That's right, you did.
gathering place. While everybody else is drinking wine and
Yeah.
partying, I'm writing a post with tears.
Well, we were all watching the Cubbies win.
It was
there was
adorable.
also that, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there, Dave? I'm just writing.
Crying.
I think my highlight of the night. I had an earlier one that then got voted out.
The boo?
No, was we left the building with Brian Schmetzer.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And we were like, hey, do you
Come
want to
with
come over
us.
and hang
Yeah.
out? And he's like, and he actually gave it like 20 seconds of
He did
thought.
one of the, he did
And
one
then
of
he
these.
was
Like, like, no.
actually should go home. And we're
Yeah.
like, we have tequila.
Yeah.
And then he thought about it again.
Yeah.
And then wisely, he chose to go home.
I wish he would have come out, though. That would have made that night that much more
You
special.
know, we could probably do that again.
Oh, I know we
another
could.
night.
I know we could.
Yeah.
But that was
But-
fun.
During the playoffs?
I did. I did talk to him about
Or December 10th.
Dallas.
Yeah.
And I was like, isn't it great though? You get to go to Dallas and basically you just have to not fuck it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I just said that in
to-
real
to
life
the coach, yeah.
to Brian Schmetzer, who's actually the coach of the Sounders.
Yeah.
He's definitely not coming to hang out with us now.
No. So you ruined it. Thank you, by the way.
Sorry. My bad.
That's all I wanted to do was hang out with him.
Yeah. You'll live, probably.
Not
You
really.
could probably have him on the show another day.
Yeah, we will.
One of my public Brian Schmetzer moments, and Angelina Welch was there for it. Schmidt? Welch? You know who I'm talking about.
Angie.
Angie,
Yeah. So it was after the Supporter Shield win, and Brian came to fuel like hours
Wait,
after
Brian
the win.
Schmetzer has never been to a bar.
And that was one of those games that started at noon. And so, you start at 9, and then the game starts at noon, and then you get the thing. And he's like, "Can I buy you a beer?" And I'm like, "No, I have to drive home eventually because it's 5 p.m. at night, and Brian Schmetzer's offering me a beer." But instead, we stayed. And
The answer is yes.
no, I got a Coke because I had started drinking at 9 a.m. and had to drive home. So I wasn't going to.
You could have driven home the next day. But anyway,
So that was one of the cool moments because he came from the team celebration to Fuel hours later, and there were maybe only a dozen of us left, and still held court.
this is something where, and I think we have 10, 15 minutes left
Yep.
to talk a little bit. ECS folks have had a lot of great times with players, with coaches, with a lot of folks involved
Yep.
with the club, and our access is, in my opinion, very, very different from what we'd have in other cities.
Yes.
I think Open Cup in Philadelphia
Oh,
was insane.
should have gone. Damn it.
Schmetzer's literally buying rounds for
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
Dylan is sitting next to Stefan Fry,
Yep.
watching Stefan Fry be a SportsCenter top 10 play, and they
Yeah.
were both kind of looking at it like, this is weird.
Yeah.
What do I do? I'll just drink this tequila that Brian Schmetzer just bought for us.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of surreal, at some level.
Yep.
And that's pretty amazing.
Yep.
And I think what's cool is, as much as the club gets bigger and more, let's call it relevant, as U.S. soccer and world soccer goes,
Yep.
we still have things like Ladero deciding to break the wall and hop over and jump
Absolutely.
in and hang out with people, and other players following him, and Drew still showing up and doing, Drew Carey Power Hour at Bar X,
Yep.
and
Damn the
or
Indians for
Portland, yeah.
ruining.
buying a round of drinks and so
They
on.
ruined his moment.
They did. But
He didn't even get to celebrate the win, and he missed his dream. I want democracy in sports, and then I have to skip that because the Indians
But
are
it's
in
just
game
different.
seven.
Wasn't he there, though?
It was very strange because
No, he was in the
said they were
suite.
there, and I was like, "There's no way
He was
there."
he was in a suite.
Yeah. Somebody
He
said he was
totally
there.
there.
He was there.
in
He was at
Cleveland.
Fuel. He was at Fuel.
Oh, because everything he maintained
Wednesday night?
online.
Oh, not that last one.
Yeah, no, the last.
Oh, the Alliance Council this
No,
meeting.
before then.
Yeah, no, people were saying that he was at the meeting, and
Yeah.
it's like, it's Game 7
No,
of the World
he
Series.
skipped
was
that to
not-
see his
that.
boyhood
Not there.
club.
Yeah.
No.
He was in Seattle the week before.
There was a guy
Yeah.
that looked like
Yeah.
him there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't him.
That was not.
No, because I remember seeing when
Was
he
not
walked
Drew
in.
Carey.
By the way, that'd be kind of a
Yeah.
cool job to get. The I'm Drew Carey when Drew has
Drew Carey double.
conflicting
Don't joke.
sports
That's a
events.
real thing.
Yeah. I didn't think.
I'm
yeah.
Drew Carey for when The Price is Right has a major event and the Sounders are doing something. So
Anyway, I would say what's selfishly really, really awesome is it's cool to have somebody who's actually an ECS member be a coach of your
Pretty
soccer
cool.
team.
Yeah.
It's
That's something
in
special.
a way super weird.
And he was the first one who bought into S2, right?
super
I mean,
crazy.
Everything about Brian.
And he's actually all in on it.
he's listened to this show.
for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For years.
like,
I mean,
when
when we were
he's
on the road.
sending us direct messages,
Yeah.
he's probably watching right now.
I hope so. Hi, Brian. We love you.
Sorry. That was super cool.
Yeah, but then also, and he did that when we were on the road trip, and Hugo was posting all the shit he was eating, really, literally, gas station.
I'm
cracker
worried
food.
about your health,
And
Hugo.
he was totally was like, Hugo, you should probably
Thanks,
eat better.
Coach. Dad Schmetzer.
It's like, wait a minute, you watched what?
Corn dogs.
Yeah, corn dogs are good for you. But yeah, I love,
You got fries?
love that guy.
Never get the
So-
fries again. I just told you the chips.
But he ate all your chips.
And you ate a third of them.
Do we want to talk anything
good.
about the Alliance Council meeting? Do you guys have anything you want to say about it other than
Don't be mean on Twitter.
I wasn't mean on Twitter. I was mean
Oh,
in
I
person.
think I left.
No, that was
No, you were
actually-
both.
He was
I
making
mean,
a
wait,
statement
I was
about,
not mean on Twitter that night.
We had that talk already.
I was not mean on there. Where was I? How was I mean
You're
that
talking
night?
about the Alliance Council
Yes.
meeting after the club meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the point was, you said it. Don't be mean on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
I'm outside of the AC, not on it.
Yeah, I'm not
Don't
either.
really know the inner workings. I would my gut is the AC is at a little bit of a turning point.
I would say
Yeah.
so. I've noticed a difference. I mean, since I left.
I think the tone is a little different. I
Yes.
think they're realizing what matters and what doesn't. And I'm not being like supporter group selfish.
Yeah.
I think they're figuring out what they should or should not be doing in a positive and constructive way, or what they could have the most impact in. And I think there's people on the AC that are happy with that, and I think there's others that want to meddle. And I think that will, again, take them a minute to figure out. But my gut is they're at a little bit of a crux or turning point.
Well, it was interesting because they obviously had, like in years past, they've been more involved, and it's been more. It feels like they've been more involved. It was more of a. This one felt like.
Well, they took about 25 minutes of the 90 to announce the coach,
Schmetzer. Yeah, exactly.
which kind of gave.
I was totally okay with that.
I mean,
Oh, I wouldn't. I wanted to listen to Schmetzer all night. I mean, I would totally. Been fine with
Let's
that.
be honest. There were a couple topics that are like that changed the demeanor of
Right.
the thing.
Well, and it's been said that they got handed stuff right beforehand.
Yeah.
yeah,
That basically changed the whole way the meeting was going to go.
but that's okay. When you hire a coach, there were a couple other
absolutely.
things that were on the short list of that I expected. Like when they're like major announcement, I'm like, well, it's one of these three things. And if it was any of those, I was like, okay, it makes sense that the council's portion is diminished.
Yeah.
We could just insert the Landon Donovan picking up the sunglasses and putting them on.
Deal with
it right now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be totally okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to demean the group at all.
No.
At some level, I think that meeting moving forward will probably need to change a little bit because the club is going to continue to grow in stature. And putting the
same
AC
thing-
after the club's news, they're going to use it as news. They're going to.
Well, if they're going to have it before Christmas, maybe the club could like make competent business decisions and reveal
like when
their
they sign
kit.
Cristiano Ronaldo or something.
No, I'm talking about revealing their kit before the
Yeah.
holidays.
Yeah.
because revealing
Jerry
it,
would be super pissed.
revealing it in the third or fourth week of January is one of the
Welcome
worst
to
business
MLS.
decisions.
Kit week.
Yeah.
whatever
Except
they call
Kit
it.
Week was like Kit 3 weeks,
Yeah.
trickle,
Right.
no momentum. And Atlanta United is doing their kit release next week. And you know why
it's-
they're doing their kit release next week? Because the holidays matter in business.
Yeah.
Welcome to.
Yeah.
So actually, this is
So that's-
You
That's
could
actually
sell a
perfect
ton of
flip.
stuff.
And I know we have a couple things to talk about.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine from high school works for the Falcons. Actually, works for the overarching organization and is creative director for the Falcons, for the United, and for Mercedes-Benz for the arena, for the stadium. And he's a pure American football guy. And we had drinks a couple weeks ago, and he's so pro Atlanta United, it's not even funny. Like he is a pure
Like
played
he
football
grew
in
up
high
through
school,
NFL,
grew up playing football,
American
like
football.
Pop Warner, like the whole thing, and I haven't seen him like I know him, like we're Facebook friends and we talk to each other on the internet, and we sat down in person. He's like, the city is so excited it's not even funny. To hear somebody who works, he's been working in the NFL 15 plus years, and he's like gung ho about soccer in Atlanta,
Yeah.
which is a pretty core American football
Yeah.
market.
Which
It's
team?
kinda neat.
Which team is revealing the kit before the
Atlanta United.
Atlanta United? Okay.
I mean,
It's something
kinda
that
leaked.
MLS fans.
We think maybe
I mean, it's going to be black and gold. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
it's either going to be hoops or it's going to be AC
black,
Milan.
gold, and red.
Yeah.
And they're because LAFC is also
Yeah.
black, gold, and what are
It's
what's
going to
their-
be.
silver?
It's probably going to be closer to like AC Milan.
But they
Interesting.
did actual research, and it's one of the things that the Sounders used to be is on that kind of forefront of business in MLS. And Atlanta United is pushing because they're probably going to break Seattle's expansion record for attendance. And they're
Well,
going
they're going to get 20.
well,
easy.
they have 30,000 deposits.
Right.
And if they convert at a 90% rate, which
Right.
is what's expected,
You're in mid 20s,
Yeah.
high 20s.
Yeah.
Their
high
lower
20s.
goal is 31, so
and
they'll be
that's
fine.
crazy.
Yep.
And they're gonna, and they want people. They want people in January to be wearing that new kit.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a marketing fact.
Right.
Hey, look what the kid coming back from school on January 4th or whatever the right date is, because I haven't looked that up, but whatever. Coming to school on January 4th is going to be like, look what I got. It's the Atlanta United kit. And that's going to be big for them. That's going to be big for them in 5, 10, 15
Right.
years, not just right now. And MLS needs to get with it, frankly, if they're going to switch kits. If your home and away kit are going to switch alternate years, they should switch when the season's over for that team.
Yeah, but that would make sense, Dave.
Switching in late January, early February, when basically it's the least consumable products friendly time period for purchasing, bad idea. Nobody sells, you don't sell anything of value in late January or February.
Unless you're a NCAA playoff.
From what
football team.
from the people that have seen the jersey that have not released their released comments, it's everyone's going to buy this jersey regardless of
jersey?
when our jersey that's going to
It's
release
gonna
it.
sell.
It's going to sell a lot. From
Honestly,
everything.
I almost expected them to release it the same time as they announced
Schmetzer, I did too.
because it
Yeah.
would have been perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
And people did already analyze the photos.
That photo. Oh yeah. That it may or may not be
to
like
figure
that.
that out.
Yeah.
People, meaning me.
And everybody.
Dave.
Yeah. But other people. Yeah.
We didn't talk about Jordan Morris.
Yeah. We should talk about
Jordan
Jordan
Morris.
Morris. Is he hurt? Is he for real? Is it
Jordan Morris.
Is it to keep him out of Friday,
Not
or is
trying
it?
to avoid?
Yeah, I don't think so.
call-up.
I thought that was funny.
Let's be honest. He
Yeah.
wants to score in Mexico again.
Yeah, he does.
Because he's done it
Yeah.
twice
Wouldn't you
already.
want to
Who
score in
doesn't?
Mexico?
Yeah.
I mean, Mark definitely wants to score in Mexico. I'm super
true.
uncomfortable right now.
You know what's dumb is if Mark scored on Mexico, he still wouldn't tell me its name.
Jesus.
Damn.
Damn.
I'm mad at Mark.
Damn. Did he really just say that out loud?
So anyway,
So is Jordan Morris going to score in Mexico?
No. Because I have a feeling that they're going to
Not
say
play him?
he's too injured.
Okay.
Got pulled at half in a game that they needed to do well.
And he got-
got pulled.
That was the most confusing thing too. Like, all
Oh,
of a sudden
Jordan
see-
Morris is not in the game.
No, all
Well,
of a sudden
see
see
Fisher.
O'Neal Fisher come in, and
And you're like, who's
"Wait,
not out
what?
there?" Well, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they cut to Jordan in his warm-ups.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit.
It happens. You
yeah,
live.
no, it happens.
So a couple other things.
Jordan Morris.
Jordan Morris again.
Okay.
Wait, Jorston. What is his name again?
Jorston Morton.
Morton.
Jorston Morton.
Is that how it goes?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I can't keep
Jorston
track.
More Dan.
Beth, are you
Mordan.
still awake
Sorry,
or are you
Mordan.
doing
Sorry.
homework?
Anyway,
Jorston Morton.
I have a thing.
Mordan.
Dan.
I have a thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Use your thing.
ECS end of season party,
Oh.
Gonna be lit.
December 16th. It's a Friday, 8 p.m. Tickets on sale soon.
When is it?
You heard it here first.
When is it? December 16th?
December 16th.
Which is what, Saturday?
It's a
It's
Friday.
the
He
Friday
literally just said the
after-
word
I know, that's why I
Friday.
didn't-
The
I was
Friday
reading something else.
after MLS Cup.
Friday after MLS Cup. Okay.
Aaron
I guess it's
hates
always on
me now.
Friday. No, I don't
Tickets
hate
on
you.
sale soon. No, it's usually on Saturday.
Oh.
We're trying something different.
Where at?
Fuck.
It's a secret,
Damn it.
Oh, it's a secret?
but it's called Lo-Fi.
Okay. No longer a
On the
secret.
DL.
Tickets on sale this week.
Lo-Fi was Ice-T's character in Johnny Mnemonic.
It was. Good call.
You know what I look forward to on that? Calling an Uber or Lyft and it being Aaron.
So
Yeah, I'm totally gonna drive that
Two
night.
things are cool about where that location is. One, if you're comfortable walking like 8 minutes, you can ride the slut. Yes.
In Mexico?
Two,
Will you introduce
you
me?
can call an Uber because you're on East Lake, and that's easy to get an Uber. And
Yeah.
it'll be Aaron.
I'm totally going to hang out there. And before.
Aaron's literally
We
gonna
can
be like,
stand out there.
Poaching.
I wanted to go to the party.
Yeah, but now I
but
can't.
I'm going. to
By the way, the
sit
post show is
outside.
just
No.
going to be me and Tom talking about Johnny Mnemonic.
Wait, the
movie.
16th is not a Friday.
It's just clearly a Friday because the 10th is
no,
a
it
Saturday,
is.
which is MLS
Oh,
Cup.
never mind. I'm sorry. That's next month. Never mind.
In December.
Yes. Don't worry about it. I'm just catching up to where I'm at, my schedule. I was trying to get my schedule in my head straight. Maybe I could go. Because Kristen and I have never been, and we talked about going this year. So,
Late.
maybe. Okay.
No comment.
Anyway,
All right.
so that's all I had.
Okay.
Zach's got a testimonial.
Yep.
Buy your tickets.
All right. Let's
Remind Mark not to leave his debit card at end of season party this year.
Let's hope the world does not end tomorrow. If you have not voted, vote, please.
Oh yeah, seriously, go fucking vote.
Vote. I mean, I already sent mine.
And by go, I mean take your ballot that was mailed to you and place it in a ballot box.
Yeah.
Before
And we had to discover
midnight.
that, like, voting, if they didn't send you a ballot because you failed to update your registration or you moved, isn't actually that difficult.
You can vote it online.
You go online, you fill out everything you want to vote, you print it out, you fold it in the little packet they tell you to print out, and you mail that, and it still counts.
Do it.
You can do that too.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Open the hood.
Just do it.
Do it. Do it now. Arnold voted.
We should just end the show on Dave saying something awkward from now on.
No, do it. Do it now. That's Arnold.
Do
That's
it.
not awkward.
Oh, yeah. Last thing. Stars. Tacoma Stars.
Wait, is that the
think
last
there's
one? Because I might have
Jesse was
another
gonna
thing.
lose his shit.
No, I totally forgot.
I think you sold 19 so far.
Yeah. So basically, we have
When is it
the November 12th. Saturday the 12th.
Next Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Saturday.
The perfect filler for the
Saturday.
international break.
Yeah. No, nothing else going on. $11 tickets if you want in. DM Jesse or get in touch with Jesse. We have 19 at 20 or whatever, give or take. So
Sounder Heart has a new Stars reporter.
That's right. Yes.
By the way,
You
he's
do.
going to be
Yep.
doing weekly at a
Yep.
minimum stuff.
By
plus-
the way, I really enjoyed Randy's tweet about this reporter's a lot better than I am.
Oh yeah, that was pretty
It
funny.
made me laugh.
Randy
I didn't
Meeker.
see that.
Randy Meeker. Yeah, it was
I'm
awesome.
glad I didn't see that
Yeah, it
because
was
Randy
awesome.
did a great job.
He did a great
We
job.
loved him.
No.
He unfortunately did, as many people do related to Sounder Heart. He got a real job.
Yeah.
Which is
Good
much
for
better.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So we put out a casting call. We have a new guy. His name is Rix. That's like the plural of Rick, except it's just one dude. And he will be at home games. He'll do like weekly recaps, talk to players and coaches. So it'll be great. And not this time, but in a couple times, he'll be able to talk to Darren about coaching Guam.
Nice.
But Darren won't be back for this game. Dick McCormick is the fill-in
Yes.
coach.
Yep.
Although I think Randy pointed out that Dick didn't travel to the away game, so Troy Peterson was the player coach at Turlock,
I didn't watch the game, but I was
which is pretty cool.
That's
Troy
pretty cool.
is a Sounders Academy product.
Yep.
And
He's
was
fun
a
to watch.
Fun little player.
Yeah.
So like central midfielder,
Uh-huh.
went on full-sided stuff. And
Yep.
good guy, understands tactics and whatnot. So it was good for him to be able to step up. He's also a coach in that kind of Sounder, the U23s, that system in the South Sound now
Yep.
too.
Also, a shout out. He probably isn't watching because he's halfway around the world, and we're gonna miss him for a few months. But Ethan, good luck on your travels.
Oh, that's right.
Eric.
Eric. Oh, Eric.
Ethan is still here.
Yeah, Ethan's still here.
I lost only
Nice
one
try,
D&D
though.
player, not both.
Jesus.
Eric Flatness,
Flatness.
who did the Monday morning stuff and some
Why do I
analytics.
want to call him Ethan?
Attendance stuff.
'Cause
Ethan
Ethan's
does
the other
aftermath. Eric does Monday morning links and attendance updates.
That's
He
right.
also was the Rain freelancer for
Yeah.
a couple of years, writing for them. He decided to go teach English to people in Thailand.
Which is fantastic.
It ruins my D&D campaign, but I'm really excited for him.
Don't go to the ping pong show.
Actually a grown up,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
unlike the rest of us, just
So
chilling.
that's some Sounder Heart
Moochers.
updates there for people that want a Sounder Heart update.
Do we have anything else? Anything else? My battery is at 69% right now.
Nice.
Hey, speaking of that, you know who scored 69 points this weekend?
Who?
The Cougs.
They did.
Did really?
They got called out on
And
like,
literally,
Nice,
as
nice,
I'm,
nice,
as I'm at the
nice.
bar, my entire timeline is nice.
Did you see? It's like
Nice.
the most Mark thing ever.
at like
Oh my God, that's
2:30 this
hilarious.
afternoon, 5:38 put out an update that said Hillary Clinton was 69%
Yeah.
likely to win.
Nice.
Yes.
And their timeline got flooded with nice responses because Twitter are a bunch of 12 and 13-year-old
Yes.
boys.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Really?
Guilty.
I had no idea.
So I have a thing besides voting. Dave Clark will write only one thing that publishes on November 11th, despite the fact that it is a U.S. national team game. I'm going to write why I don't work on November 11th.
Excellent.
It's Veterans Day. I'm taking it off. I'm going to go down and hang with one of
call.
my
Yeah.
active duty
Nice.
friends that's down there at JBLM. And then I'm going to find a bar here in the South King County. And then I'm probably going to have Aaron drive me home because I won't drive.
Let me know.
But
As it's more relevant this week, as always, we thank you for your service.
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you.
I was in a lucky, unfortunate time, but a lot of people weren't.
Right.
So in this week that has so many reasons to be patriotic and think about America, we have an election, we have the U.S. national team, we also have Veterans Day. So I just ask that there's Mission 22, there's veterans housing projects out there. That Mission 22 is the suicide prevention. They got it down from. It's funny. It was Mission 22. It's not funny. It's a bad word for it. But Mission 22 originally started because there were 22 veteran suicides a day. That number has dropped down to just 20, which is good.
Progress.
I would like
Progress,
that
yeah.
to drop
To
to
zero.
zero,
Yeah.
but let's keep chipping away
Yeah.
at it. There are tens of millions of people that have served in wartime because we've been in an active state of war since 2001. So if you work on November 11th, just take a moment. If you're a veteran, take the day off if you have that capability, and just think about those people that served, particularly those people that served during wartime, because that's something that is difficult and hard for their family and friends, and for them for the rest of their life. Sorry, somber note to
No,
end, but
no, that's okay.
important
It's a
to
good
me.
note.
No, but on that note, one of our loyal listeners sent me the New Zealand Herald's best places to hide if this guy wins the election. That was the newspaper today. So here are the best places to hide if he wins the new U.S. election.
You know, the best places to hide if the candidate you don't like wins the election is in your local election and your state
Yes.
election the very next time, because
Yep.
we have a multi-layered democracy that prevents wild swings in favor of one party or one position. So if the person you don't like wins, what you do is you get active locally,
Yep.
because all politics is local, and you don't have to agree with the politics of the person that is the president, because we have this wonderful structure that, through the Republican federal systems, prevent wild swings one way or the other. And you don't need to hide. You need to act. You need to vote locally. I'm not talking about candidates here. You can be active locally and get what you want. If you want mass transit, you get out there and you act for it and you vote on it and you promote things like Sound Transit 3. If you don't want it, you get out there and you act on it. And that's why it acts slowly, because in 1912 we had mass transit. In 1970 we nearly had better mass transit. And now we're about to vote on the same plan that we had in 1970. So
It was.
Can I just make one comment
Do you
there?
know what's
Yeah.
cheaper? It
I'm-
was in 1970.
Exactly. I'm not a,
1.3 billion.
versus 53 billion or 54 billion
Yeah.
ish.
But 1.3 billion in 1970s would be about 40 billion. It still would have been cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah. Still cheaper.
Also, it's our decline of that 1970 program is the reason why I think it's either Phoenix or Atlanta wound up swooping in on that and improved their
Yeah.
It's Atlanta.
highway
Atlanta.
system.
Atlanta.
Marta.
Yeah.
And then they used the Olympics to make it even better.
Yeah. But they literally were like, we're not doing that. Let's fix it.
I love Seattle. Been here 25 years. It's a great place. The people that are locals that say that Amazon and Google and Facebook and Microsoft and who name insert tech company here is ruining our traffic and ruining our city and everything else, had the chance in the 70s to vote for something that would have fixed and made this city better. And they did not. And the 90s too. Because I was here and that was my first vote.
The monorail
They
was
turned
supposed
out.
to be done in 2009. And if we'd followed
Yeah.
through with that, we'd have better mass transit now than
We
we do
would've.
then. But at the same point, I was here when the S curves were actually S curves and were two lanes that on
Yeah.
a federal highway
Yeah.
required you to slow down to 30 miles an hour. And now if there's not traffic, you're actually able to go 65. You only go 30 normally. But when I grew up, the S-curves, even without traffic, you could only go 30 because that's how sharp they were.
Right.
So it's better than it was because I lived it.
Renton, we're
That's
ahead of the
me.
curve.
Or
That's pretty much the end of the show.
I think
right
it
there.
was.
I mean, I had something else to say, but now I don't.
We love you guys.
I'm just gonna hit stop
Thanks,
right now.
just
thanks,
hit-
thanks
hit
for watching.
stop.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Hope the world
that's
doesn't
it.
end tomorrow.
Thank you. We're done.
Yes. The curves. I couldn't resist.
The fact that you just said that makes me.